T&T Football Association has named Dion La Foucade as the new technical director of local football, filling a critical vacancy in local football. The TTFA also announced the appointment of a further 26 persons in technical positions for all the country's national teams, ranging from under-15s to seniors, following a meeting of the board of directors. These new appointments will join previously announced senior men's coach Terry Fenwick and his assistant Derek King, and under-17 and 20 women's coach Richard Hood and Maylee Atton-Johnson, the women's under-20 team manager, which brings the overall staff appointments to date to 29. Janelle James and Richard Piper are directors of the women's and men's national teams respectively, while former World Cup goalkeeper Kelvin Jack is head of goalkeeping at all levels. Angus Eve is Derek King's assistant on the national under-20 squad, while former strike squad captain Clayton J.B. Morris is Keith Jeffrey's assistant on the under-15 national team. Coming out of the meeting which spawned those appointments were a number of other decisions, and the chairman of the technical committee sought to explain some of them. Ruskin Mark has more from Keith Lookloy on Project 2026 and other initiatives the new administration is pursuing.
In addition to those appointments, you can add National Under-17 head coach alongside Angus Eve's name, as he has an expanded portfolio. But there is no room for Sean Cooper of Presentation College and Queen's Park, but his day will come if Lookloy is to be believed, as the approach is for short-term contracts to these positions.
For example, the under-15 men's team and women's team, they play in August. The contract for the staff is to the end of August. The women's under-20 and 17 teams play in February and March respectively. The contract is to the end of those tournaments. And then at the end of these tournaments, we sit with the staffs, we sit as a committee, we sit as a board, and we assess and we make decisions. Do we go forward with this staff? Do we go forward with this coach? Or do we replace anyone at all? And that's the way we will proceed. If we do look to renew people, then we would usefully discuss renewing them for a full cycle, which in terms of youth football is 2 years.
The former St. Mary's College star said that the youth is the future and they must be given every opportunity to succeed, hence the genesis of Project 2026 and preparing for the World Cup of that year.
The idea here is to give a level of international experience to the young men who were in the last under-20 team. They are now going to be 21, and the current under-20 team, they are now 19. So an age band of 19 to 21-year-olds, and heading into 2026 to form from that core group a new national team.
Lookloy added that national coach Terry Fenwick and his staff will oversee this project. He also feels that the talent identification program for national teams is working well so far in North America, with as many as 10 young ladies already headed to camp coming from North America. This program is also to be rolled out in England.
Last week I had a conversation with Gavin Lewis. People might remember his name, British, played for Trinidad and Tobago for a few years, and is now working for Derby County FC. And we started the conversation with him. We're going to duplicate or replicate the North American program in the United Kingdom. And in that way, we expand our pool, our player pool, talent pool threefold. And so therefore, we bring more talent to bear on the selection process, and we expect to have better national teams.
The national team is also likely to be facing international opposition in the next FIFA window as they prepare for the CONCACAF Gold Cup qualifiers in June. Ruskin Mark, TTT Sports.
Former national goalkeeping standout Lincoln Phillips is back serving local football. He gleefully accepted his appointment as ambassador of the North America Talent Identification and Player Pool Program, TIPP. Phillips is a former outstanding goalkeeper for Trinidad and Tobago and a past technical director of the TTFA. Gus duties include, among others, is to improve public awareness and familiarity with the North America Program, TIPP, and its mission, and to represent TIPP program at events. He is also to assist recruitment of players to represent Trinidad and Tobago instead of another country. Phillips' appointment follows that of Shaka Hislop as TTFA ambassador, which was announced in December.